Anybody who's coming to Japan for the very first time, do you have any tips to share? Hi everyone, I'm Shripriya. Welcome to my channel. And today we're discussing what it's being like a vegetarian in Japan. We have a friend Katie here. Katie, thank you for coming on our show. Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Katie Gillam. I am vegetarian, have been for 5 years. I'm currently an engineer living here in Tokyo.
That's good to know. Welcome to Japan, by the way. Why did you choose a vegetarian lifestyle, if I may ask?
I come from a part of America that is not known for vegetarians. I come from Texas. It's known for beef and eating lots of meat. So whenever I did meet a vegetarian, I thought, wow, that is so brave of you to go counterculture and to be living your truth, eating vegetarian food and being healthy. It's probably cheaper too. And actually, yeah, there's a lot of good reasons. Maybe I should do that. So in the end, I did finally make the leap and been vegetarian for 5 years now.
That's great. In India, it's not very uncommon to be a vegetarian, and usually when somebody says they're a vegetarian, we just assume that it's for a religious reasons. But for you, that's not the case.
One of the first vegetarians that I knew were actually in the church. I was raised in a pretty religious household as far as American standards go. My mom, when I turned 9 or 10, decided that for religious reasons, she wouldn't eat pork or shellfish. I also started doing that because she's my mom. And moms usually have a good reason for things, and she wouldn't cook those anymore, so I just went ahead and did it because she was doing it, and realized there's actually a lot of good reasons to do this. I mean, the things we do to animals in my country and many others aren't really great things to do. I think it definitely started religious, but there are lots of great reasons beyond that.
So, do you think it's difficult being a vegetarian in Japan, considering only 2% of the population is really vegetarian?
I think you have to define what difficult means. I think most towns are going to have options for us. Most neighborhoods do. It's not like in the US, I would say, where you were pretty confident that any restaurant was going to have at least an option. In Japan, I feel like you have to do more research. I'm also going to say, if you don't speak the language, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
What is this dish, and is it going to have meat in it, or do you have anything on your menu that's vegetarian? And if you don't know how to ask the waitstaff those kinds of questions, I think it's just hard being vegetarian.
But I think in Tokyo, it's way easier than it is in other cities.
I think it's way easier anywhere there's tourists.
Yeah.
So whether that's Okinawa or
the
Kyoto,
famous cities.
if you go to Fuji, technically it's not very big cities, but it's very touristy. There's vegetarian food, there's gluten-free food, there's vegan food.
So I live in Sendai, I really do not have an option.
Yeah.
So I really need to do my research before going to a restaurant. I think I've only found 1 or 2 cafes which are purely vegan. But when I came to Tokyo, whenever I visit here, there's just so many options out there.
There's definitely a lot more.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How do you survive as a vegetarian, given that it's difficult to find options out there?
You do research, you Google. Google becomes your best friend. Talk to other vegetarians. I think you have to learn the kanji for meat. It's the first kanji I ever learned.
Niku.
Yes, Niku. You learn that one quickly. So I think that's definitely possible. I also cook a lot, which helps too.
So how do you ask in Japanese?
Yukunashi dekimasu ka? Can you do this without meat? Is that possible?
Yeah, I just realized 2 months ago that McDonald's French fries are not really vegetarian. They fry it in animal fat. Yeah.
They do the same thing in the US. They don't do it in Europe, but they do it in the US and in Japan.
That was so weird for me because I've been eating it for 1 year in Japan and then I had to stop.
There was some food I saw where they had the Niku kanji and I was like, oh no, this has meat in it. But then I actually translated properly and realized that they use fruit meat. It was the flesh of the fruit that was in it.
Ah, okay. So probably use Google Translate.
Yes, basically, yes.
Yeah. There's an app called Happy Cow.
I love Happy Cow, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's got great support, especially in the Tokyo area. I haven't tried outside. I do pick vacation spots purely on the vegetarian and vegan options.
But do you ever feel left out that all of your friends can eat everything they want and you experience the Japanese culture, but at the same time you cannot?
Yeah, I think that's a function not of the country you live in, but of the friends you have. I think it's about if they are going to places that don't have any options for you or making fun of you for not eating something, that's a function of your friends. Like at my company and my team, they're always very accommodating. They always have an option for me and make sure I feel included.
Yeah.
So if anything, maybe back in the US it was more difficult because my friends would give me a harder time about it.
Really?
Whereas in Japan, everyone's like, you're vegetarian? Oh great, we'll definitely try to accommodate you, right? Even my Japanese friends are like, I've never tried this vegan restaurant, but I want to go with you and let's go together. And so I feel actually really included in Japan.
For me, I think it was the contrary because it's really easy to be a vegetarian in India.
That's true.
Yeah. So when I came here, like a lot of my friends, almost everybody eats meat, and then when I ask them to hang out, I really need to be picky about the restaurants we go to, make sure that they have a vegetarian or a vegan option. So I do feel a little left out
I'm
sometimes.
sorry about that.
Yeah. But it's fine. I think Japan is definitely growing on me.
That's good.
Are there any Japanese dishes that we can try as vegetarians?
Absolutely. Japan is famous for its rice, but also its noodles. I love udon and somen and ramen. There are so many good ones. It's a home of tofu. I love dango. Remember the cucumbers on a stick, the pickles. You walk around, they're so refreshing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff.
So, Katie, I met your husband, Steven, backstage. He told me that he's not a vegetarian. So, how do you think that works? Do you cook vegetarian food at home, or what do you do?
He's been fantastic, very supportive. He will check dishes for me and help me find vegetarian options. And then when we go out, if the restaurant isn't fully vegetarian, then he might get whatever looks good to him, whether it's yakiniku, and then I'll get whatever the vegetarian option is. So he doesn't give me a hard time about it.
It's so sweet that he's accommodating and to meet each other in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Katie, for sharing your experience. So, anybody who's coming to Japan for the very first time and who's a vegetarian, do you have any tips to share?
My go-to is there is a chain of burger restaurants called Freshness Burger, and they have a bunch of soy burger options. Other than that, do some research, try something fun. It's an
I
adventure.
think Indian and Italian options are very safe choice, especially if you're a vegetarian. Not probably if you're a vegan, but they always have at least a margarita or just one vegetarian curry, which could really save you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And I know we come from two different cultures, but we share this one thing in Japan, which is really, really sweet. I will see you guys next week.
Please like, share, and subscribe for more awesome content about Japan.
Bye bye.